Hi everyone, it's Nicole Spohr here today with this inked rainbow stripes card featuring Mama Elephant stamps and dies. The ink we're using today is the Inkon3 and it's a fusion ink, which it's just a really cool artist grade specialty ink. It's water reactive, acid free and archival, but I just love the bright colors. Across the top of the screen, I have listed the color names I'm using, and I'm doing a really simple stripe background. So this is actually a 4¼ by 5½ inch panel, but I am masking off 1/2 inch stripes and inking those with these really cool Inkon3 inks. So, and kind of doing an ombre effect. On the right side there, it's going to be dark, and then I tried to lighten it as I went towards the left side. And a little different than a regular rainbow, I guess. It's definitely rainbow color, but I started with blue and then purple and then moved to red. I just didn't want to start with red this time, so it's kind of more towards the center. And I'm using the grid on my work surface as a guide. The blue color is called Peacock Blue. The purple is My Jam Purple. The red is MARILYN Red. We just did Marigold Orange. This is Bee Sting Yellow. Aren't the names so cute and clever? I think they're really fun. And then we're going to do Goddess Green next, which again, I love the names. And then we'll repeat Peacock Blue and My Jam Purple to finish this off. Now, one of the super cool things about these inks, you might have heard me say, you can watercolor, they're reactive, you can use them for stamping, blending, just so many possibilities with these inks, but I love that they're reactive, and that means they're going to react with water. So I am going to do a really light spritz over my panel to show you how the ink reacts with the water, and give a little bit of interest to my striped background. Now that last 1/4 inch, I'm just going to leave white because we're going to trim this whole panel down to 4 inches by 5¼ here in a little bit. So I spritzed it with water. Now I want to stamp and emboss my sentiments from the Mama Elephant Happy Chic Wishes. But in order to do that, I need my panel to be completely dry. And so I didn't want to wait for it to air dry, so I'm going to hit it with my heat tool. I like to do both the front and the back of the panel. And then I'm simply going to take my happy stamp, and we are going to stamp this right along the top of the card. This is a huge, big, bold greeting. And then there's a bunch of fun little scripty greetings that work with this. And what I love is this is a stamp set that's going to work with lots of your Mama Elephant image sets. So you can do Happy New Year, Happy Everything, Happy Wishes, Happy Holidays, and Happy Birthday. And I definitely went the birthday route here because we're going to combine the Happy Chic Wishes with the Pinata Party images. So both of these are new for January 2020. And if you are not new here, you probably know my favorite embossing powder is a beautiful bright white. So definitely against the rainbow background here, I went with white. I'm going to stamp my greetings with the Simon Says Stamp Clear Embossing Ink, and then heat set with Simon Says Stamp white embossing powder. There was one little area that looks like I either didn't get it dry or there was maybe some sticky residue from the Post-it tape. I don't know. I used a dry paintbrush to remove that white flake patch so that it was nice and clean before I heat set the word happy. Doesn't that look so pretty against the rainbow background? I just love this. And this technique, that stripe technique for the background, is going to work with any width of stripes. Maybe you want to mix it up and do several different widths, or you want to do skinnier ones. Maybe you want to do diagonal stripes. There's so many different kinds of backgrounds you can create just with your ink pads. And I think that's so phenomenal. I am stamping up birthday now, or inking up birthday. We'll stamp that right below, sprinkle on our embossing powder. I'm going to remove any little stray flakes with my dry paintbrush and then heat set this. Then we're simply going to trim that background down as I was mentioning. We're going to just trim off that side that has the white strip. So that's going to make this 4 inches, or just maybe a scant little bit less. And there is our beautiful rainbow background. Next, we are going to stamp 4 images from the Mama Elephant Pinata Party stamp set using the Inkon3 No Line Coloring ink. So you guys know that I love no line coloring with my Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers. I am stamping these images on some Bristol Smooth cardstock and then going to do a little no line coloring with my Zigs. Across the screen, the colors I'm using will be listed. If at any time you're wondering exactly which color combination I'm using, you can find that information there, as well as if you click the link to my blog that is listed in the box underneath here on YouTube. It will take you to my blog post that coordinates with this video, and I have listed out the ink colors and what I used for what image in the blog post, so that is great for easy reference. We are starting with our adorable little donkey pinata. I love that there's multiple pinata options, number one, and I just think that the little blindfolded penguin is darling. The hedgehog, all of the critters. I mean, these are the Mama Elephant critters that we already know and love, and it's so fun seeing them all decked out for a birthday party, a little pinata party here. So definitely super, super cute. I kept with the rainbow theme of the background with the accents and embellishments, or kind of accessories for my images. So the blanket, the little bats that they use for the pinata, the birthday hats, all of these things are going to feature rainbow somewhere. So I tried to really keep it consistent throughout, bright and colorful. In this little line here where the pinata is hanging from, I went ahead and used a fine tip black pen to draw that in. But then the streamers coming from the bottom of the pinata, I really carefully used the tip of my Zigs to draw those in so that they were really bright and colorful. Any part of the faces on the images, I will be using a fine tip black pen. That's going to include eyes, noses, anything like that. It's really important when doing no line coloring and your image has a face to make sure that the face really still pops. Next up is our darling little hedgehog, and he's going to be colored with mid-brown and oatmeal. Again, as I was mentioning earlier, keeping with the rainbow feel of the background, the bats that the hedgehog and penguin are holding are going to be rainbow color. So I'll go ahead and do both of those. I love that the hedgehog is wearing glasses. I think those are so stinking cute. So I'm going to use a little haze blue to color those in. And once I have finished coloring and die cut all of the things and adhered these to my card, when I get to the finishing details, we'll put a little glossy accents on those glasses to really make them nice and shiny. I went ahead and did the bats at the same time just to keep that consistent while I had the tips off of my markers. Then for the penguin, we've got a little dark gray and warm gray too with the blender, and then pink haze for the cheeks. I like to do the dark gray and warm gray too for the majority of the penguin, and then for its face and tummy, that's that warm gray too, and blend it out with the blender. This is a great opportunity. I got a question recently here on my YouTube channel asking if I've had to replace any of my zigs because I use them so often. And it was such a great question that I thought I would mention it. I have replaced only one, which marker for running out, that's the blender, even with as much as I use these. However, I did replace 2 other markers because I accidentally ruined the tips. I wasn't careful when I put them back in the lid. I was hurrying and I smashed the tip, and it just wasn't as fine at the tip as it comes. And I really like that little fine tip because a lot of images I color are pretty intricate and small. So I went ahead and replaced those, but that was user error and I did not actually run out of color. Once our penguin is all colored in, we're going to color in the bear. Now I didn't add anything to him, but there are extra embellishments or accessories. I keep saying embellishments, accessories in the stamp set. So he could be holding a bat if you wanted him to. There's some other cute little things in there. There's also candy. So if you want it to look like the piñata has maybe started to burst open, there's some little candy pieces and things like that that you could definitely stamp on your card. Now, once I have these all colored in, I'm going to take the coordinating Pinata Party dies and die cut these 4 images. And really all that's left is adding these to the bottom of our card and finishing a little embellishing with some Nuvo crystal drops. I'm going to lay them out, kind of get a sense of where I want everything to go for the finished card. I kind of want the piñata to appear to be hanging from the word birthday, but I don't want it to cover up the word at all and make it hard to read. And then I'm going to add a little dimension. So the piñata, I'm actually going to put liquid adhesive on and glue directly to the background. And then my bear, penguin, and hedgehog, I'm going to adhere with some foam adhesive squares. That gives a little bit of depth and dimension to the little scene along the bottom edge of this birthday card design. I'm using a combination of large and small foam adhesive squares. Gosh, isn't that hedgehog so cute? Mama Elephant does fantastic critters. I absolutely love them. It's so fun to be able to mix and match. You could even go back to some of your other stamp sets and really mix those in with these Pinata Party ones to have even more variety for your card. I'm going to adhere this panel then to a white top fold card base. That's going to give a beautiful white border all the way around because remember this is slightly smaller than A2 sized. And this is really cute as is, but I feel like it needs just a little something. And Nuvo crystal drops are one of my very favorite things to add just a little bit, almost like confetti, to this background. So I'm going to use red berry, ripened pumpkin, dandelion yellow, apple green, Caribbean ocean, and crushed grape Nuvo crystal drops. I'm not adding a super lot of these, I don't really think, but I am trying to scatter them all over. So not just in the scene, the bottom half of the card, but I want a few up above around the word happy and the word birthday. And that's really just going to tie it all together perfectly. Look how cute. I really just love the way all of these little drops look. You could also add sequins, confetti, you might have some enamel dots or gemstones, that would all be fun too, or even some small stamped die-cut stars. There's so many different things you could do and add to this background. You're going to want to let the Nuvo crystal drop sit and completely dry for about 24 hours before mailing your card. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for this happy birthday card featuring the Mama Elephant Happy Chic Wishes and Pinata Party stamp sets. The supplies I used to create my card are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Here are a couple more videos featuring Mama Elephant stamps and dies that you might be interested in. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new card making or paper crafting video. Thank you so much for joining me today, and we'll catch you next time.